gotta get a lot of shit just to live this here lifestyle.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back once again to Vicious Rants. And of course, I'm your host, your YouTube Messiah, and often imitated, never duplicated superstar Tim Vicious. And we're going over Raw this week was in Chicago, Illinois. Now, before we do, first thing, yes, it was the first Raw ever live on Christmas, and, well, I know this pissed off a lot of the Twitter Smarky McSmarkertons, and, you know, I got a lot of backlash for giving my 2 cents on the matter, but honestly, I was not mad or upset at the fact that they were doing a Raw live on Christmas and next week on New Year's Day. Because you go back to the olden days, like the 60s and 70s era, hell, even the 80s era of wrestling. And I'm talking the territorial times. They would have in the old southern area when they were for southern wrestling, and I say wrestling, you know, the big payoffs would be like Thanksgiving and Christmas shows. Not big time, you know? And they would do like Christmas battle royals where the winner would get $500,000 or something like that. And, you know, the guys would get a chance to cut a promo and say, you know, I win that Rumble. My family is going to be $500,000 richer. My daughter will be able to do this. My son will have that. They would do that kind of stuff, and it would pay off. Same difference with here. Okay, obviously, they're not going to do something to that level. But these guys are getting to work on a Christmas show. Christmas shows draw money. At the end of the day, their job is to tell a story and to put butts in seats. No different than the job on this show for me is to, aside from trying to keep you from falling asleep, hey, wake up, wake up. I'm right here, I'm right here. Aside from that, it's to draw butts in seats to watch this right here. Now, that being said, again, I'm all for the Christmas and New Year's shows, you know? I mean, hell, I remember being a kid seeing Monday Night RAW on New Year's. Nobody batted an eye then. Nobody was pissed off about it then. But, you know, God forbid nowadays, right? Anyways, show starts off with John Cena coming out to the ring. He comes down. You know, and just as he's about to cut a promo, he comes out, he goes over to this one kid's like, oh, this one kid's wearing the wrong kind of shirt, I gotta give him the right one. And it was this kid, he looked like he had to get a trach like put into his neck. I don't know the details. I know more than likely it was from a Make-A-Wish kid he probably saw earlier in the day. But he took his hat and his shirt off, he gave it to the kid. You know, as much as you shit on John Cena, and you can argue whether it's rightfully deserved or not, he has done a lot in charity work with kids. So I will give him that, because that is the one thing, guarantee you will wind up, you fuck with kids around with me, guarantee I'm going to put your face through a Coke grinder. I'm going to put your face through a meat grinder, and it's going to look like ground up Coke bottles. And I say that in the calmest of ways because that is honest to God true. That being said, he comes out, cuts a promo, talks about on how they're here and it's Christmas and all that. And next thing you know, God damn it, Elias comes out. Elias, he comes out, starts to interrupt John, asks who wants to walk with Elias, and then, hell, even Cena says he'll walk with Elias. And Elias is getting ready to cut a song, but actually before that, they start up a CM Punk chant, which case, folks, it's been this long now. Can we finally fucking stop with it? It's done. It's over with. He's not coming back. Seriously, Fuck you, Chicago, and your fucking CM Punk chance. He's not coming back. Get over it. You're not getting yourself over. All you do is make yourself look like a bunch of fucking dicks. Honestly, when they do that, it almost makes Brock Lesnar guy and Frank the Clown seem presentable. Anyways, Elias winds up doing the Who Wants to Walk with Elias bit, and then Cena says, hey, I'll walk with you, I'd love to. Grabs a stool, says, go ahead, have a seat, I'll sit back right here, do it. And Elias, you know, he does his typical heel thing, you know, starts strumming, da-da-da-da-da, la-la-la, Chicago sucks, this, that, and the other. Next thing you know, John stops and like, whoa. Don't go being a, basically, and I'm paraphrasing here, like, don't go being a Grinch. You're the reason on why it's going to suck if you keep acting like that. You're right, John. I should change. I should change it. And he goes to, and then John goes to tag along with him and singing along with it. And just as he is, next thing you know, Elias, he gets up while he's still strumming, and then, boom, pops him right in the face. Now, honestly, what I thought would have been a whole hell of a lot better than just a straight up pop right in the face was if, you know, Cena has his back turned, Elias, he's strumming, stops, sneakily takes the guitar, and then, smash, El Kabongs him. Just hits him with it like that. That would have been a whole hell of a lot better than just a straight right cross. But either way, he does that. Next thing you know, he calls for a referee to call for a match, and then it becomes official. John Cena versus Elias. Now, I do also want to note they did say to celebrate in honor of it being Christmas that they were making the first hour commercial free, which was actually really nice to see because, you know, it actually, trying to think how to put this without it sounding stupid. Well, considering it's a show, but you didn't really see much rest moves or rest breaks in between with the guys with it like that in a way. I mean, it started out with Elias doing that cheap shot, yeah, but Elias, he was real aggressive during it all. You know, and I was really impressed with the way he was carrying the match and, you know, and moving with it. But it was very Cena-ish, or Cena-is-H. Not quite sure on how I should go about that. But either way, it was a very Cena-ish match. You know, match obviously came to an end with Cena. He did an AA out of nowhere, got the 1, 2, 3, that was it. And probably the one thing that got me more fed up than anything is very much so on how was when Cena first came out and he was cutting his promo, he was talking about on how WWE is his family and his home. And my first thought was, again, what he said to The Rock all those years ago. Talking about on how The Rock said, he's home, he's here, he'll never leave, and then he went to Hollywood again. Very much so in the same way John does. You know, at this point, John turned into the uncle that, saying WWE's his family, he turned into the uncle that would see you every day to the uncle that sees you now once or twice a year. So, yeah. How do you think that went? And again, I find it funny because he went from preaching to The Rock, like going at him and shooting at him, that on how he is, on how, you know, he's just here for one shot and then he's going to go back home and have his millions and millions on his Twitter and Instagram while Cena's here day in and day out busting his ass. And then Cena starts doing starts doing the same thing as The Rock. You know, and now it's just like, really, John? You made this argument against Dwayne about it, and now you're doing it yourself. Talk about freaking hypocritical. Anyways, next matchup was Cruiserweight match. the Brian Kendrick going against Hideo Itami. This it was an okay match. I mean, wasn't nothing much to write home to, but it was nice. It's, you know, it's good to see Hideo getting TV time, because you know they're eventually going to push him into the title scene sooner or later. Match wound up coming to an end with Itami hitting the GTS. Surprisingly, Chicago did not freak out as much as I thought they were going to, but either way, that was that. Next up, 6-woman tag match. Paige and her flunkies, Absolution, going against Bayley, Mickie James, and Sasha Banks. And it was kind of a meh sort of start. But, I mean, in all honesty, I mean, let's be serious here, folks. Anytime we have any of the holiday episodes with Raw or SmackDown or anything like that, when have they ever been, oh my god, it's a can't miss event? You know, I mean, yeah, this was kind of like just on the par for the most part for the show, but it was kind of a meh start. You know, I mean, Sasha, she was the team punching bag, which I will say was a little bit different, considering normally when it's women's tag matches, Bayley is the one that winds up being the punching bag, but, you know, it's okay. Either way, match wound up coming to an end when eventually everyone started all going at each other like crazy. Yeah, Bayley, she got the hot tag, and everyone started going at each other. Next thing you know, it was outside. Paige threw her back in the... Paige wound up getting there in the ring just as Bayley was about to go up to do Hail to the Queen with the Randy Savage elbow drop. Paige stopped her, brought her down. Next thing you know, boom, hit her with the Rampage. Got 1, 2, 3. That was it. Now, they did announce last week, first ever in history, Women's Royal Rumble, which... very big deal, very happy to see. And also, I did put this out there on my Twitter at Tim Vicious, but what I think would be helpful for the Women's Rumble, honestly, aside from, obviously, you're going to have the women from the Raw roster and the SmackDown roster, have women from the NXT roster in there too. Even if they're just going to be ones to just be fillers, for lack of a better term, you know, just to fill, okay, we need ones for numbers 12, 13, and 22. Okay, well, we'll take this, and this girl from NXT. Hey, come on. You know, hell, even grab a few of the indie girls that work and that have worked shows in NXT, because, I mean, let's just say, for example, how freaking crazy do you think it would be if you got to see Mercedes Martinez and Candice LeRae come out and be in the first ever Women's Royal Rumble? You know, even if you know guarantee they're not going to win, just the fact that they got to participate in it, you know? Now, that being said, next up we got back-to-back piss break matches. It was Kane versus Heath Slater, which... do you really need to ask on how that went? Followed by Curt Hawkins against Finn Balor. Again, do you really need to ask how that went? Now, as far as Curt Hawkins goes, his losing streak now is up to 140-0 and 148. So, I got the perfect idea what you do. Don't have him do any more matches, except for like maybe the week before the 25th anniversary of Raw, and then on the 25th anniversary of Raw. And then have him compete in a triple threat match. Curt Hawkins versus Virgil versus the Brooklyn Brawler. The winner gets the Enhancement Talent Award of the Century. Huh? Alright, screw you guys. I thought it was clever. Anyways, after that we had well, it wouldn't be Christmas without a Miracle on 34th Street fight. So, it was a Cruiserweight Trios match. It was and I say this every week, but seriously, Enzo and his crew, they call them the Zo Train. Can we stop calling them that, please? Seriously, the Zo Train just sounds like something that sounds like the title of a gay porn. Ugh. It was Enzo, Drew Gulak, and Ariya Daivair going against Mustafa Ali, Akira Tozawa, and Cedric Alexander. And it was almost like immediately after the bell rang, the commercial, it went to commercial like a few seconds after. But after that, you know, it was, saw action going on. Mustafa Ali, hands down, stole the show performance-wise. Absolutely loved it. Now, if anything, definitely see at some point in time this kid Mustafa Ali gonna be soaring to the heavens, getting with that cruiserweight title. It's just a matter of when, not if. So everyone that keeps on saying, oh, they're not gonna give it to him, they're not gonna give it to him, dude, y'all need to cool your shit, because they will. It's just a matter of time. Not everyone can be champion, and not everyone can get to that top spot right away. No matter how skilled and no matter how skilled of a performer you are. You know? Let's just take, for example, Lio Rush before he signed with NXT. You know, he didn't, you know, when he was just literally starting in 1 year in the business, he won Ring of Honor's Top Prospect Tournament and got a world title shot against Jay Lethal. Now, did anyone really think Lio Rush was going to win that? Even though 1 year, green as goose shit, you know, but still had so much talent. The kid is just freaking oozing it. No. But you knew Leo was going to become champion at some point, whether it was Ring of Honor or somewhere else, and look what happened. He became Combat Zone World Champion. Hell, he won World Championships in other promotions as well. Point being, though, Mustafa Ali will become champ at some point soon. Just be patient. The immortal words of the great prophet Axl Rose, just need a little patience. That being said, as far as this match came to an end. Cedric Alexander hit the lumbar check on Daivair, and that was it. Next week, they did advertise on the New Year's episode of Raw, Cedric Alexander is going to go against Enzo for the Cruiserweight title. So, and honestly, I could see Cedric winning it. And I've been a huge fan of Cedric Alexander since his days in Ring of Honor. I definitely see this kid going places. It's, you know, and it's, again, that whole, well, I like this one, but I also like this one, and I like this one. And as much as I'd love to see everyone be in the top, not everyone can. It's just a matter of that. You know? That being said, now comes to the next match, and dare I say the main event of the night, or not the main event, the match of the night. I'm sorry. That was a straight up brain fart. Samoa Joe going against Roman Reigns, Intercontinental title match. Now normally I judge a match on how good their collar elbow is right at the start, but man, this started out with just straight up slugfest. Not even like, you know, somebody going to try and do like a punch like they're pissed off. No, it was just boom, 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 like that, you know? It was just beautiful seeing that, you know, and I liked it. It played to both guys good. It had nice pace and action with it. Really liked the way it went. Probably the part that really got me good was when Joe, boom, locked in the Coquita clutch, had it in, got Roman down, and then scissored him. But right when he scissored him, that's when it saw his distance. I was like, his foot's close enough, he could sit it on the rope. And then Roman eventually wiggled through and got his hand on there. Just thought, man, if he had put his foot on there, that would have shown perfect that, you know, Joe was so caught up with trying to get him that, you know, he was so caught up in that he forgot to go and check to make sure his feet weren't near it. But either way, after he let go, Roman got out, Joe ran, suicide dive, caught Roman, hit him, and his shoulder went boom, shoulder first into the barricade, started nursing it, was hurting it. Next thing you know, they went back in, and then Roman just went straight up ballistic. Got Joe in the corner, one-handed headbutts and left hooks. Just kept throwing them both at him to Joe to the point to where the ref called for the match, and it was a DQ because Roman went that ballistic on him. After that, Roman, he proceeded to keep going at him. You know, beat him up, threw him into the barricade, set him up on the one ring post, grabbed a chair, went for a running charge, wham, tried to crack him. Heard it, it sounded like a freaking shotgun blast. Like, boom! And you saw Joe's hand move, and thank God Corey Graves caught that and said something on it. Like, I think Joe just barely missed it right at the 0 hour or something like that. But, you know, caught it like that, played well, saying that, you know, Joe missed it, so that way they couldn't go and try and say, oh, well, he attacked Joe and injured him, you know, but either way. Next up, but yeah, after that, you know, that was it. So, obviously building up to their match, their inevitable match at the Royal Rumble, at which case either Roman, it's going to be Roman versus Joe in a more than likely no DQ match, and honestly, if it is, I'm okay with it. If it's not, again, I'm okay with it, but either way, I see Samoa Joe winning it, you know, and not so much because, you know, the whole predicting, oh, they're going to do, because Meltzer said Roman's going to main event again. Dude, no, that's not it at all. And if Roman does, then Roman does. Fuck it. You know? The kid's earned his stripes. The kid's earned his bars. You know? He's paying his dues, and he's been. But either way. Next up, we got the third piss break of the night match. The Miztourage, which has been circling around all around backstage all night, singing Christmas carols in key of the Miz, and they're out there doing a match, a handicap match against Braun, and well, do we really have to ask on how that went? Next up we got tag match, and it's for the tag titles. Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan, as weird as that sounds, going against Sheamus and Cesaro, and, well, yeah, this whole came to be because, you know, Seth said to Curt, listen, I want a piece of them because they helped take Dean out, and it's been reported Dean Ambrose did get an injury. He tore a tricep, he had to get surgery. WWE is saying he's going to be out for 9 months. However, some other dirt sheets are reporting he'll be out for at least 2 to 3, so take rumors with a grain of salt. You know, rumors are rumors, but either way, we'll just say 2 to 3 months the earliest, 9 months the longest. You know, we'll say he'll be out for anywhere between that length of time. But Jordan came in then said, I want to get at Joe. And Curt said, you both want Joe, but every time you try to get to him, Sheamus and Cesaro are there, so you two are going to go against Sheamus and Cesaro tonight for the tag titles. And yeah, so yeah. And right at the start, Jordan, he just started getting pounded by Sheamus, which case then Seth came in, cleared house, took out Sheamus, Cesaro, did a freaking suicide dive at them, and then next thing you know, got on in the ring, pulled Jordan up, and you could see that look on Jordan's face like, motherfucker, I wasn't wanting you to help me up, I had this. But, even though he didn't really. But either way, Seth, he was the team punching bag, which was a huge surprise considering that, you thought Jordan was going to be it, considering it's Jordan. And, well, honestly, at this rate, the kid's not going to get anywhere fast. He's going to wind up being booed more than frickin' Cena or Roman. And I mean that in the nicest of ways because, again, I give both guys a lot of shit, but at the same time, I respect them. Just like Jordan, however, he's really not that relatable as a character. That's the problem. His character's not relatable. I mean, what is there? Ugh. I mean, it was a decent match. Jordan, he eventually got the hot tag in. It was decent. Decent way the match was going. Match came to an end, though, with Jordan hitting what looked like a fisherman's net breaker. I couldn't really tell. My connection with the TV faded out like right at the 3 count, and Jordan wound up getting it. But Jordan did get the winning pinfall, and Seth and Jordan are now the new World Tag Team Champions. So, yeah. That was it. So, that is it for this week's show, folks. Do not forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the other episodes. Make sure y'all look for me on my Twitter at TimVicious. Also do have another account, Tim_Vicious. Also on that Facebook gimmick, Tim Ash. Make sure y'all check out the info down below for the Dad Show Lifestyle Podcast, Storytelling Podcast, whatever kind of podcast you want to see it as.
I love your golf stress.
Also, do not forget to follow all of these cool-ass cats right here on the Twitter. Axel Mulligan, make sure y'all check out Axel's newest project, Brit Wrestling Review, where they talk about British and European wrestling. Kenny Killer, my 2 co-hosts for the Dad Show. I am Danny Sunday, and Oliver Ben, who is the executive producer for this show. Also, make sure you go check out his music on iTunes, Spotify, and such. Details are down below. And don't be afraid to hit Ollie up for one of these sweet Ollie Rewind shirts. Show the man some love and support. Cranky Asshole Aaron _Deborah and Dazzy MWP. And folks, like I always tell y'all, you love me great, you hate me. Fuck you.